Hi, it's Bill at Chicagoland Baseball Academy. Our hitting program consists of analyzing the pro swing and looking for consistencies. What do all these pro hitters have in common? And turns out there's a lot. Now today we're going to talk specifically about the stance and their first movement, loading up the swing. Okay, starting with the stance. You see all kinds of different batting stances at the pro level. And it's true, you have a lot of freedom to kind of start off with what's comfortable for you. Some guys like to start off with their feet a little bit further apart, some guys a little closer together and kind of standing up. It really depends on the player. The one consistency that we do see here with the pro hitters is what they do with their back foot. Now, very rarely do you see a hitter, a pro hitter, that points his toe toward the catcher. Most of the guys, Alfonso Soriano would be an example of a player that actually has a batting stance where his back foot points toward the catcher. And he's also a little bit closed. That would be an exception to the rule here. Most guys, that back foot is going to be even, or the toe is actually going to be pointed away from the catcher, and that's called pigeon toe. And then after that, like I said, you have a lot of freedom. The only thing to be aware of here is where you start off with your batting stance is going to have a direct impact on how you load up your swing. The next thing we see with all these pro hitters is they all go back before they go forward. They all load up their swing. Now, generally speaking, there's three different ways that you'll see pro hitters load up, and the first type is a toe push. Albert Pujols would be an example of a player that utilizes a toe push. Here, all you do is kind of just show the bottom of the foot to the pitcher. So, back, forward. The next example would be a toe tap. Sammy Sosa, Chipper Jones, Jimmy Rollins would be examples of players who utilize a toe tap. Here, you start off a little bit wider in your stance and tap forward. The last example is probably what most people are familiar with, but in my opinion, it's least understood, and it's the leg kick. Here, you just lift that leg up, back, and forward. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. What happens a lot of the time, especially with younger players, is they're more focused on going up than back, where you want to be going back. You want to be loading up, creating some sort of torque if you can.
Now, before we take a look at some pictures and videos of these pro hitters, I want to talk about why they load up their swing. And the reason is really quite simple. It just comes down to common sense. You're going to be able to swing harder. You're going to be able to hit the ball farther. And you're going to be able to generate more bat speed. And that's really the point when you're hitting. You want to hit the ball as hard as you can. And loading up your swing is going to enable you to do that. Starting off with the toe push, it's a real subtle movement. There's not a lot going on here. And like we said before, you just kind of show the bottom of your foot to the pitcher. You might turn a little bit, create a little bit of torque. Jim Edmonds shows us how subtle of a movement this can be at times. And you really don't need to move that much to generate a whole bunch of power. We're going to get a good look at a toe tap here, and something that is important to remember is they don't stop. You don't hesitate when that front foot taps back. One thing to note looking at leg kick here is that front knee doesn't come past the back knee. So for a right-handed batter, his left knee doesn't move past his back knee, his right knee, and with the lefties, that right knee in the front doesn't come past the back knee, the left knee. Watching these old videos is fun. take a look at Mickey's right knee, his front knee, and we're going to see him go back right there and then forward. One more time, same thing, back and then forward, loading up. You got the babe here, almost 100 years ago, same thing, front knee, back, then forward. Take a look at it one more time. Back again and then forward. So this is what we do here. We have Roberto Clemente on the left and one of our players on the right. And same concept. Look at the pro guys, try to do what they do. Okay, last thing here. This is a shot of one of our guys' first day he was here. You can see not really loading up very much, and then we're going to have a clip of him a month or two later. You can tell the difference. There you go.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.